this multiple times. We are neither right nor left. We're neither progressive nor Republican, Democrat. No, we are Muslims and our identity is Islam. And this is something we see now in this reality that is taking place. Benefit that we see here is that it is a wake-up call for us, a wake-up call that subhanAllah, in front of our eyes, the first time in human history, we have mass genocide being broadcast live on everybody's phone. This is the first time, by the way. In Bosnia, it didn't happen. In Rwanda, it didn't. Genocide happened. There were no cell phones to upload video footage and show the world instantaneously. Even the very qawm that is doing this, when Hitler did what he did, the Allies invaded, said, oh, we didn't know that Hitler was doing this. We didn't know. It's a surprise to us that all of these camps were there. They said they didn't know. Point is that this is the first time in human history where genocide is taking place and the world is watching and nobody is lifting a finger. Nobody can deny there's genocide, but the perpetrator says we have to do it because you are forcing us to kill your own children, as I said. Now, what is the benefit or the point here? Subhanallah, if this does not teach us that la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, that Allah is the only Mawla, that you cannot make your tawakkul in the makhluk. Where are the kings? Where are the muluk? Where are the governments? Where are the powerful figures? Everybody is silent. If this is not going to teach you that you cannot have tawakkul in any makhluk, you cannot put your trust in any being. Your trust has to be in Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. Your heart has to be attached only to Him. This is a refinement of Iman. This is sifting through Iman. You cannot make ta'alluq, your heart attached to any makhluk. You're not going to find any good from the makhluk unless Allah wills it. However, yes, we rally for support. Yes, we want people to help. But we take the asbab and the heart is attached to Allah and not the asbab. This is a key point here. You know, as the Prophet said, tie your camel and then what? Trust in Allah. We will tie the camel. We will try to get people to influence. We will protest. We will write letters. We will. But our hearts cannot be attached to the means. Our hearts can only be attached to Allah. If this incident does not sift from us the reality that Allah is our Mawla and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to help us, وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُتَوَكِّلُونَ, then nothing else is going to teach us this reality. Of the benefits we find in this debacle that is going on, of the benefit that we find, and again we get on to some of the asbab, because as I said, there's no contradiction. Understand this point. We rally for asbab. We rally for, the causes, but our hearts are attached to Allah. Of the benefits we find, for the first time in the entire history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, we have millions of people now supporting Palestine publicly. First time ever. Last week or last Saturday in DC, the largest mass protest since the Iraq invasion. The largest protest took place against this genocide taking place here. Now, our politicians are on one side, but wallahi, this is positive that the people now, and this is good and bad news both. It's both good and bad. Who was leading these protests? Who rallied these people? Which organizations brought up these, they say 300,000, Allahu alam, how many, 350,000. Where did they come from? It's sad, but also good. We were not the primary instigators. It's sad because we should have been. We should have been at the forefront. And I did try my best in my own way, but I don't have a national organization. Khair, it is what it is. None of the national Muslim organizations were at the forefront. Yes, alhamdulillah, one or two they invited to speak. But none of them, the Muslims did not rally for this mass support. Now that's positive and negative. Why is it negative? Sad on us. Let's be honest here. Shame on us. We should have been at the forefront. We should be at the forefront. But why is it a positive? Why is it a positive? Because other people are clearly doing it. Even when we're not doing it, the main people behind this mass protest have nothing to do with Islam. The majority of organizations, more than 40 organizations came together. And there's 2 or 3 nominal Muslim organizations, 30 of them, 35 of them, nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with Islam. That is positive and negative, like I said. The positive, mashallah, alhamdulillah, people are seeing the truth. People are seeing the truth. Of course, the negative is shame on us. Being honest here, shame on us. We should have been more at the forefront, and I'm still trying, but I'm just one voice. I don't have an organization. I don't have a mass convention or whatever in this regard. But I feel that inshallah the national organizations should try their best to still do another rally. Sadly, not enough Muslims participated. If you look at the people there, it's good they came, but where were all of us? We were not there because our own organizations were nominally represented. Khair, as I said, good and bad. So this is one of the positives that comes out. Of the positives that comes out is that the Palestinian brethren, our people in Gaza, they are forcing the conversation after 70 years. Never in the history of this conflict have now politicians, the United Nations Secretary General, famous people are saying, okay guys, whatever this group is, they're bad people, but how about the 2.2 million people of Gaza? You're not going to solve the problem of this group until you solve the problem of the people. First time ever we're hearing mainstream global voices say this reality. Again, this is a massive positive. And again, these types of changes, they take decades sometimes, but we're seeing the tide shift. And of the positives, I'm not going to conclude on this because there's so many more, we can go on and on. But for me, one of the biggest positives that I see globally is that, subhanAllah, single-handedly, our brothers and sisters in Gaza, they have inspired all of us to be proud of Islam. They have given all of us a sense of dignity. They have brought all of us to a sense of our primary identity, and that is the identity of Islam. Across the world, in Turkey, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, in so many places, people are now listening, protesting, their hearts are attached. There is a global revival of Islam because of this issue, because of what we're seeing here. If this is not a positive, because of this incident, because of the dhulm that is happening on this people and the sabr with which they're responding to this aggression, they are inspiring tens of millions of Muslims around the world to be proud of their identity, to reconnect with their faith, to rekindle. Our own youth, mashallah, I'm seeing them as well, talking to them as well, and they realize their primary identity is that of Islam. Every other identity is secondary. Every other identity is behind this one. Our nation states, our ethnicities, all of this is secondary. Our primary identity, هو سماكم المسلمين من قبل إن هذه أمتكم أمة واحدة. This one issue, it has reminded us we are one ummah. I want to tell you some good news today. Today, the ISD of Plano and Richardson, they had a meeting with a number of shuyukh and a number of community Muslim leaders only. And I was in that meeting. Both of these schools reached out to us and they're saying, what can we do to make our Muslim youth feel safe here? So alhamdulillah, we find the izzah of Islam spreading. And wallahi, if this were the only benefit, it would be enough. If this were the only benefit, that tens of millions of Muslims, their iman is rekindled. They see the shuja'ah, they see the iman, they see the sabr of the people of Gaza, and it makes them feel, my God, wow, look at these people. Even though we are not physically oppressed, perhaps spiritually, we are the ones who are covered up, and they are the ones who are free. Perhaps spiritually, I'm not trying to insult anybody, wallahi, but think about it. Perhaps spiritually, they are the free people. They are the ones who are inspiring iman. And we are the ones, our iman is locked up, even though our bodies are free. We are the ones, we're not seeing the light. And they are the ones who inspired us. Wallahi, this is a blessing from Allah, even though it is painful for them. I'm not trying to astaghfirullah, minimize that. But I'm saying our iman teaches us, we look at the positives. Whatever is happening, our hearts are sad for what is happening and for those that have gone. But we have full trust in Allah that all of this negative, from it, there will come a positive. There will come a blessing. This is the reality. Do not give up.